Dale Mathis, coming to you from my home studio in Sun City, Arizona. And as you noticed in the 3 polka video tunes that you just saw, I had a different accordion in each of those songs. And so the first one was an accordion that I purchased used in 2016, and the second one was a accordion that I purchased from a customer of mine. The owner had passed away, and so I helped them out by purchasing that accordion that he had, and I sold that first instrument to a fan that really wanted that accordion in Florida. And now I've got another new one, and just show you here. As you can see, all the registers are black. And of course this is the Roland original spec. And so I just want to share a little of the history of my Roland 8X, or I shouldn't say 8X, but Roland digital accordion ownership. In 2005, I was strolling through the NAMM show in Los Angeles. That's the music industry trade show. And I went to the Roland booth because we were a Roland dealer at the time. I was working in Honolulu, owned a music store there. And I noticed this rack of accordions. And I thought, Roland doesn't make accordions. And I looked a little closer, and the name on it said Roland. And I thought, wow, this is interesting. So I listened to the demo, and of course, very noisy in that room. And I thought, well, this is very cool. So I ordered one, and I had it shipped out to me. And when I got it home, I went, this is terrible. And for a year, it didn't feel like an accordion. It didn't sound like an accordion. And for a year, it sat in the box. I was busy at the time. And finally, I got it out, and I got out the owner's manual, and I said, I'm going to figure this thing out. And at the time, this was the FR7, which is the very first model that was introduced by the Roland company. It came out in 2004 in Japan, but was introduced in the US in 2005. And it took me a long time to figure out how to program just a few really good usable sounds. At the time, the memory on the 7 was very limited, and if you would change like a setting, like a vibrato setting for one instrument, it affected the vibrato settings for all the instruments, and so there wasn't a lot of memory on it at the time. But I eventually did figure out how to get some nice sounds out of it, and I used it for quite a few years. And then in 2016, when I was playing at the German restaurant here in Arizona, one day I needed to, I guess I was going to play an afternoon job, and the accordion wouldn't turn on. And I couldn't figure out how to get it started. And I had heard that there was a used 8X available about an hour and a half away. And I knew nothing about 8X at the time. So I ran over to the guy's house who owned it, and I said, I'll buy it. And the programming on it was not factory original. He had tried doing some programming on it, but it was, let me just put it this way, it was not Dale Mathis Edition programming. It needed some major upgrades. And so I bought that accordion, and then several hours that afternoon I spent just getting 2 registrations so that I could play at the German restaurant that night. And that was the beginning of my path with the Roland 8X accordion. I got a pretty nice set of sounds on it, and I learned that the 8X is a very programmable accordion, much more memory than the earlier versions, and so the editor is fantastic on it, and you can do all these fantastic things, as you've heard in my 500 other videos. And so that's when I approached Donna Thomas here in Sun City about the possibility of selling Roland accordions, because there was no Roland dealer in Arizona, no Roland accordion dealer. She already sold Roland what'd she sell? They're home organs. And so she thought that was pretty funny, that I was going to try and sell accordions in her shop, but she said, okay, we'll try. The only requirement from Roland at the time was that we had to buy 3 accordions, 1 of each model. And it was surprise, surprise, we ended up selling a lot of accordions. And of course that lasted until she retired in 2022. And that's when I set up the association with Kraft music in Milwaukee. So now you have a little bit of the history. And over the years I have changed the 8X from the programming that I do on them, and changed the appearance. That first one, the person here in town had done that bellows design on it. Oh, and funny story, that first person, he said, oh, I'm just going to be happy with my Excelsior accordion. Well, after he had heard the Dale Mathis programming on the 8X, he ended up buying a Dale Mathis Edition 8X accordion and a 4X accordion. So if he gets a 1X accordion yet, he'll join the club. We've got, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 folks who have all 3 models. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed my little story. I hope I didn't bore you. And enjoy the 3 polkas as they play again. All right, thanks, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.